Welcome back to Colonel D Gourmet Herbs and Spices. Today we're going to cook with powdered cheeses and find the power of these powdered cheeses. Many of these powdered cheeses we carry here at Colonel D's. You must be able to think outside of the box when it comes to powdered cheeses. These are 100% pure cheese with the fat removed from them. Knowing that and using them, you will now find different ways in which you can use them. One of the ways that we're doing is a creamless Alfredo today. I've already gone ahead and cooked off my fresh fettuccine. It's rinsing. I'm ready to take it out. What I have in the pan here is equal parts butter and olive oil, about 2 tablespoons each. I know you're going to freak when you hear 2 tablespoons of butter, but folks, please believe me, it is replacing 8 fluid ounces of 40% heavy cream. So as I come over to get my pasta, I make sure that my pan is nice and hot, and I'm just going to take a portion, a single portion, into the saute pan with the butter and the olive oil. Make sure that it's all incorporated quite well. And then what I've made with powdered Parmesan cheese and table grind black pepper, again, equal parts. Now, after I make sure that my pasta is totally coated and back to room temperature, I will start to introduce the creamless Alfredo back into it. Now at this point, once the fat hits the powdered cheese, it's going to reconstitute into that same wonderful flavor of Parmesan cheese. Again, without the fat, that's why we're doing this. We probably can remove anywhere from, I would say, 600 to 700 calories per serving with the way we have it right here. All right, folks. Now, another step that we're going to take here with the powdered cheeses is their use in vegetables. I have here a saute pan. Again, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of olive oil heating up. I have both asparagus and Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts have been blanched and halved. The asparagus has also been blanched. And what I'm going to do is just reintroduce them into a hot pan rather quickly, just to saute them off. Now, I want to put some heat on all of them. So into the pan they go. And again, it's going to rest probably for anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. And I will then make sure that they've all reached the proper temperature, nice and warm, as they're being coated by the butter and the olive oil inside. Now what I'm going to do is, after I've ensured that the sauteed Brussels sprouts are good, warm, and ready to receive, the Parmigiano-Reggiano Italiano is going to go on top of it. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of this blend in on top of these Brussels sprouts. Again, I'm going to toss gently, make sure that everything's getting coated. Return to the heat, let it go on a low heat, maybe a 4 or a 3. Nice and simple. As you can see, you'll start to get a little color on the Brussels sprouts again on the outside. That's just making sure that they're all up to the optimum temperature that you'd like them to be. And we will now remove, place on the plate. All right, now what we're going to do with the power of these cheese powders is, I've taken a pound of ground chuck. I've patted it out into 1/3 pound patties each. But as I had it resting, I put in 2 tablespoons of our Gorgonzola powder and 2 tablespoons of our Bayou blend, thus creating the standard black and blue burger without the Gorgonzola cheese and all its fat. So as we go ahead and put them on the grill, They're probably going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. In that interim, what I'll do is go back to the asparagus and back to show you again how to saute vegetables. I've got the asparagus that was blanched. It's going to go into the saute pan. Again, equal parts butter and olive oil. And I know everyone's worried about the amount of butter, but believe me folks, in removing the heavy cream, which is a 40% fat content, you're replacing it with butter. And yes, butter in large quantities is not good for you, but heavy cream is terrible for you. Subsequently, that's why we've gone this route. Now, as the asparagus starts to come back, get a little heat on it, it'll start to caramelize where you see it. I've gone back to one of our standards on this. I use the Parmesan and cracked black pepper on the asparagus. Again, this is that creamless Alfredo that we used on the fresh fettuccine in the very beginning. This is now going to go on our sauteed asparagus. I'll start out with probably about a tablespoon or 2 per pound of asparagus. Now, as I let it start to get the heat, I'm going to come over here and pay attention to the Cajun burgers that we have going. See if we can give them a little flip here. And back down. Back to the asparagus. Again, we're making sure that the blend is getting coated on all the asparagus as we toss it. Now, back to the cheese powders. I recommend that you try them before you go and throw 2 tablespoons in. Try it in a smaller version of what it is or where it is you'd like to use them. Once you get acclimated to the power of that cheese, once it's reconstituted, I truthfully believe that you will have as much fun with these cheese powders as we do here at Colonel D's. Please stop by and see us and ask for your cheese powders. And as for Chef, we'll come up with crazy ideas to use your cheese powders. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon.